Andréa, it's been a year since we recorded anything, certainly not since we talked. But give me kind of an overview of your approach to social media in case people haven't gone back and listened to episode 3 and how you can do it in a way that is appropriate for your mental health.
Yeah, social media is challenging, and I think some people don't like to admit that. And I'm okay with admitting that. It's complex, but it can be a great tool to grow our business. So we have those two competing things a lot of times. So my approach to social media is to find that balance between your own personal interests, how much of you do you want to put in your social media, and how much you want to use it as a tool to grow your business, right? So if you're committed to using that social media as one of those marketing channels, as one of those tools, how do you want to show up there? How much time do you want to spend on it? Which platforms do you want to spend time on? And get rid of all the shoulds. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. That's my approach in a nutshell.
Yeah, I love that. And also something that you just touched on, was that idea of how much of myself do I want to put into this versus how much do I want to grow my business? And I think that that's something that's not, I don't want to say it's not talked about, but the split between personal and professional or personal brand versus business voice, there can sometimes be a little bit of murkiness in this. And there's this feeling, especially among people who are learning from businesses that are more of an influencer type, that you have to air all your dirty laundry in order to be seen as genuine or authentic or whatever our buzzwords are for the day. So let's talk about how do you decide how much of your personal life you want to share?
Yeah, I think the decision is hard because boundaries usually are created when a line is crossed. So you kind of have to sometimes have the line crossed to go, oop, that doesn't feel good. So I'll give an example. I just had a kid.
I was just thinking about that.
8 months. Yeah. She's 8 months old at the time this is going to be released. And I was really conflicted about sharing her on social media. It's pretty normal in the online business space, post your kids, share their pictures. And I just see too much. And I'm like, I don't know if I want her to be on here. But I felt this pressure, almost internal pressure to post her. So I posted one photo of her when she was born, and it is still to this day my most engaged with photo. And I instantly felt, oh no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So for me, I'm very careful about not using her image to market my business. That's just my personal choice. I will post one photo a year on Christmas. My husband and I decided that's what we'll do. We'll give an update, the family Christmas photo. That's it. That's all y'all get.
Just like sending a Christmas card out to your physical list. That might be all that my aunt sees of my kids is my Christmas card. It's them smiling, facing the right direction. It's they just see how big they've gotten, but it's not every, the daily or weekly updates that used to be very common in social or in blogging or that kind of thing too.
Yeah. And, I'm not trying to shame anyone for, if that's their choice. If you feel comfortable with that, fine, go for it. But it's something that I felt was a line for me and my business. So I just don't use my kid, her image to promote my business. And I had to cross that line to find that boundary. So, as a business owner, you're sitting there thinking, man, some of these things don't feel good to me. They don't feel right to me. They don't feel appropriate. Then it's time to start looking at your relationship with social media and how you want to show up and being authentic. To me is being true to that relationship and keeping it healthy instead of having this toxic need to post your kids, because honestly, the kids do get a lot of likes. I love liking my friends' photos with kids, but the place it has in the business can be different for everybody.
And I think also what is the benefit of posting personal information on there, and how does it fit into what your goals are within your marketing? So, for my friends who are working in the parenting space or in the relationship space, sometimes having that picture of your kid, especially, or in kind of the productivity and time management space sometimes, where you're here I am at my daughter's ballet recital, or I'm, volunteering at PTA today because I have the flexibility to do that. There's something to that if there is an underlying story behind it, and the ways that your business can help other people to experience that, or the ways you can be home with your kids. to use another example, I used to post in my business Instagram stories. If I like worked out, I'd be like, great, got my workout done today. And people would like give me little high fives and be like, way to go. But then I started to get more DMs that were like, hey, do you need help with your accountability for working out? And I'm like, no, that was not what this was about. This was not about me getting hit up by cold traffic of people who are now going to try to like upsell me into their Beachbody MLM. No, that's not what I need. I needed that like dopamine hit. And I didn't have a small internal group for my accountability that I know my brain needs because, ADHD. But I needed that feedback. And so I found a different way to get that feedback. So it's not just kids or no kids or personal or not personal, but it's like sometimes there's this expectation of, I have these Insta stories, people are watching them. Should I post about my workout? Should I post about the food I'm eating? Should I, like, what should I post about that makes me feel human? That makes people connect with me. But then everything that you post has the opportunity to get feedback that may or may not be the feedback that you want. I think Tyler J. McCall, before he retired, said like he used to spend all this time in the DMs and he'd like post pictures of his food and then people would be like, can you send me the recipe? And he's like, just Google the recipe. Like, I'm not a food blogger. I'm just sharing this because I want to share my life, And there's this sort of expectation that once you post it, it becomes public, like a public forum to discuss, which may or may not feel good.